Ed and Max here from the OAI. Today we're going to show you the two variations of the subscapularis that we always train our athletes with. And we're going to show you one that you can do on the field and one that you need to do on your own, because the subscapularis needs to be trained with proximal humeral head positioning and inhibition of certain muscle groups so that you can isolate the subscapularis to do its job. So we see it done with Jaeger bands, we see it done with all kinds of different resistance bands, but if you're going to do an exercise, we've always promoted why not add one more component to it that can make it more effective. So what Max is going to start out with, and we've got these variable resistance band all over the place, so we'll double it up and he'll put it over his body. And for a right-handed thrower, he's going to tuck his arm in, and the whole point of that is to turn off a little bit of the pec major. So he's going to put himself with a little bit of a semi-split stance, left foot back a little bit, right look forward. Now he's leaned forward at the trunk, and now you can see he's abducting and somewhat flexing. So he's got his band pushing forward and abducting, and then from there, he'll train the subscapularis. So he'll do that 8 to 10 repetitions, and he'll also change his angle. So there's times where we'll say, okay, start there. Now he'll work more with the subscapularis being strengthened at the end range, and he's always trying to position the proximal humeral head retracted and compressed in the socket. So if you're just going to let your shoulder be floppy and your elbow go everywhere and let the pec major do all the work, you're not necessarily isolating the subscapularis, which is the muscle in the rotator cuff that keeps the shoulder down in the socket, especially when you're external rotation. It actually attaches and pulls and retracts to keep or alleviate some of the anterior shear of the humeral head. So once again, Max, go ahead and do it without pushing into the band. And you can see how much easier it is. And now abduct into the band and flex. And now it's a completely different type of contraction. So doing it with reciprocal inhibition makes you strengthen the muscle more, which makes your exercise more effective, which protects your shoulder for the throwing motion. So this is a position that we use, especially with a lot of our athletes, just as a warm-up, but we use in this band. And you can use any band. You have had people use belts. So the key is making sure that you're doing it at the right angles, pulling the band towards you. I see it done all the time where it's right over here to the side. Not necessarily that effective. So at a 45-degree angle pulling to you, at a 45-degree angle pulling in front, these are all things that you can do to change the angle of the subscapularis pull, which isolates certain ranges of the motion more. So you want the muscle to be strengthened throughout its range. So we'll often have athletes start here, have them rotated at 45 degree, and then we'll have it made right there where they're pulling almost towards them to try and isolate more of the ranges where you need the muscle to be strong.